right, somewhere here there are headphones. Do I need them? I don't know if I need them. I don't know. I don't know if I need to have headphones today. It helps. I mean, it sounds better, I think. Comes through. Hey everyone, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Van Sciver. And yeah, I'm just a little disorganized right now. Getting ready to go to Orlando, Florida. How do you like that? How do you like me going to Orlando, Florida tomorrow? Hi, hi, hi. Yeah, you know who I am. Good. I know who you guys are too. And that's a great thing. Yeah. Good evening, good evening. I wouldn't call these people fappers. Atomic American says, no, EVS, bad. Captain Cummings and Nurkish are streaming and I can't watch all three of you. Why not? Why not? You need, I mean, everybody asks me, why do you have 4 iPads? I have 4 iPads so I can watch everyone all the time at once. I can't miss a second. Get in my chair. I don't want to miss a second of these people. Yeah. Sandra asked me to have an Orlando Bloomin' Onion. I might not. I might not. Where is Cyberfrog Kickstarter? Asks Skid Racket. I don't know. It's not up yet. Zach was asking me about that earlier today. He's like, are you ready to go? I'm like, I'm not ready to go. Don't push me. Do not rush me with the Cyberfrog Kickstarter. You ought not rush me. It has to be done right. It has to be rolled out the right way. This is not some kind of spontaneous affair. It does need to be done properly. Absolutely properly. Richard Adams says, don't go to Florida between the Gators and the bath salts. Hobos, it's too dangerous. I know. Listen, I understand that I'm taking my life in my hands wherever I go. Wherever I go, everyone's nuts. Everyone's crazy. But I do have to come out and see you guys. Tomorrow is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you all. Yeah. And so I have to go out and sign autographs for people. Sign Rose Tico toys. And I'll bet you anything that there are going to be very few comic books brought to me and a whole lot of Rose Tico dolls. At least I hope so. I'd like to think so. What do you guys think? Nicholas Rickoff says, came for the comedy, stay for the still shots. This isn't a still shot. I'm here. I'm with you. I was working on this beautiful drawing of the Batman who laughs. Hey, Ethan, what's your thoughts on the Spectre as a character? As a character, he's okay. I like him as a plumber. We are ready to go, says Skid Racket. James Dietrich says, hola. Look at this. Can't spell. I actually get to say that word now because of my community. Have you retired portfolio reviews? No, just taking a break. I mean, you know what? It came down to it. I got to be honest about the brutal portfolio reviews. Like, my wife listens and she has to come in and say, you have to be a teacher. You have to be kind. And I'm like, this is brutally honest. And she's like, I know it's brutally honest, but you're sounding mean. Now, I get some portfolios that are very upsetting, and I just look at them and I go, oh my God. And, my goal for brutally honest portfolio reviews is to be brutally honest and helpful and actually spend the time that it takes to get someone to improve and actually point out all the mistakes and areas that need improvement. Now, some of these portfolios, I think people do send me portfolios just to troll me sometimes. And I bust them out and I start to make a video and I go, and she comes in and goes, you sound mean. And I'm like, oh. So I actually have to, at some point I should actually release some of these like portfolio reviews, like the mean ones, because I've gone back and redone them 2 or 3 times at certain points. And I think if you heard the mean ones, you'd be like, what the hell? Carl P says, so how about that Killing Joke review, EVS? Yeah, a lot of people are asking me to make good on my promise to review the Killing Joke. I will. I can. I mean, look, yeah, I don't know. All right. I get myself back in a DC Comics frame of mind. I'm totally somewhere else right now, guys. You have to understand, I wake up in the morning and I feel like P. Diddy. I don't feel like EVS, DC comic book artist. I feel like EVS, Cyberfrog artist. And I feel like EVS, gangsta starter. I just, it's hard. It's hard to go back there. But I will. I have a bunch of Green Lantern books that still have not been uh, had secret commentary applied to them. So I do need to do that. D. Howison says, EVS, do you recall a group called Heat that campaigned for Hal Jordan's return to dignity? I do. Heat was called Hal's Emerald Advancement Team. And back when Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern and Hal Jordan had been disgraced and destroyed, Hal's Emerald Advancement Team was a major thorn in DC Comics' side. They were right. They were absolutely right that Hal Jordan needed to come back and that he had been mistreated. But it was almost as though this was in the early days of the internet too. It was almost as though Hal's Emerald Advancement Team just existing kind of caused DC Comics to dig in their heels a little bit. No, Hal Jordan's never coming back. And it wasn't until the great Pete Tomasi, who now writes Superman, I believe, was given the chance to edit the Green Lantern titles, that DC Comics relented to his demands. His demands were to bring back Hal Jordan. Now, one of the hidden messages in Green Lantern #4, I think that me and Jeff Johns did together, that we never talked about, was that, and this was a secret, like we would never tell anybody this, but now I'm going to tell you. One of the hidden messages was that Hector Hammond, who is a big sloppy, fan. I mean, he's gross, big fan of Hal Jordan's. His prison tag were the numerals that, if you applied those numerals to letters in the alphabet, spelled out heat. So Jeff, I think, was trying to imply that heat were kind of big, fat, nerdy Hector Hammonds. Yeah. Yeah, some of you were in Heat. I think I would have been in Heat if I were paying more attention. I was not a Green Lantern fan in the 90s at all. At all. Bob Delinquent says, nah, more people who give you comics equal more people in comics. Well, yeah, and you know what? I mean, I have to say this. The Star Wars community, guys, the Star Wars fan community is much bigger than the comic book community by a factor of 10. Okay, and probably more so by a factor of like 50. Star Wars fans outnumber comic book fans, and that's these days, absolutely. It is worth my while to also reach out to them and kind of draw them back in to comics, because as it is now, I mean, I would be seeking out a small percentage of comic book fandom. Right now, comic books have been ravaged by social justice wars. They've chased off normal people. I swear to God, I go on Twitter, and like Twitter has that like recommended for you, and it's like, here's what comic book professionals are saying, and it's all like eyeball popping cringe. The headache that I get in my eye socket. I have to go in there and it says, do you want, you have an option. Do you want to see more of this or less of this? And I hit less of this every time, and it's never enough. I get some effing social justice warrior, oh my God, nonsense. And I'm like, this is comics now. This is comics now. I can't take it. Show me less of this. And then I start muting people. I can't take it. We need more normal people back in comics. Yeah. Mark Nazinski says, no, be brutally honest, I'm ready. Oh, I don't know if you are. Matt77 says, I'm bipolar. I'm absolutely not. I just, I have a temper. I think we all do. I am not bipolar. Eve La Renaissance says, Dr. Taco, are you related to Rose Tico? That is a good question. I've wanted to ask Dr. Taco that myself. Yeah. Let's see. What else is going on here? Did I see the new Avengers movie yet? Yes, I did. I did see it. I did a review of it that was widely condemned by everyone. Manuel Patino asks, does your wife like your videos, Uncle Ethan? Yeah, she watched the Rose Tico one today, and she laughed. She laughed at an A-wing shooting all the Rose Ticos and making punching noises. When you can make your own wife laugh, that's a good sign. After a little while, married couples stop thinking that each other are funny, but she makes me laugh, and every now and then I can make her laugh too. Internet user says Cobra Kai was good. Surprisingly, it was. We watched the first 4 episodes, and yeah, I really liked it. It was from Johnny's perspective. Ralph Macchio is despicable in it, and really despicable, and I like that. I really appreciate that. You feel him. You know where he's coming from. You can see that this is where his life led him, a life of kind of cheap and easy wins, um, and self belief has led him to the life that he's having now. 4 episodes in, I'm enjoying it. I fell asleep, I think, halfway through the fourth one. I'll catch up. I want to watch them all. Matt77 says Ethan will not review DC stuff. Well, I won't review DC stuff that is not my own and is current. I will go back and we'll talk about The Killing Joke, because that is like, it's so above all of us that we can talk about that as a separate work of art. These are not my peers. Brian Boland and Alan Moore are not my peers. So I feel like I can talk about them, and, it's safe to do so. It's classy. Yeah. Marsupial Gamer points out that I'm cucking Narkish. Well, his whole title of his live stream is making fun of me right now, so he can suck it. Yeah. Neil Adams is brutal in his portfolio reviews. You better believe it. Scrolling down. Scoop Chang says, once your contract with DC is up, what Marvel title would you consider doing? I don't want to. I just like, everybody's like, what do you want to do next? I thought about it. I've honestly thought about, like, well, what would I want to do? I want to do Cyberfrog. That's what I want to do. I want to do Cyberfrog, and I want to do videos. I just for a while. I mean, this could change, but at this moment, like, and I've talked about this in live streams before. Live streams are better because I can actually. I don't want to make like a recorded video about this, because it's just a little bit. It's not fun. It's not funny. But if you guys want to actually talk about, real stuff, I mean, yeah, I got to take a break from it. As I've said before, working at DC is great. It's steady, but I'm being lazy. And my past 5, 6 books, I feel like, okay, I'm rushing to get these books done. I'm meeting deadlines, or just barely, like, missing deadlines. This is not. It's not healthy. I don't feel like I'm in control of anything. I'm not being creative. At this point, I'm a monthly grind artist instead of the guy who, helped kind of create Sinestro Corps War and Flash and Green Lantern Rebirth and Blackest Night. I'm just drawing scripts. This is no fun. So getting some creative control again, and having, working at my own pace, that's just what I want right now. So will that change next year? Maybe. Will it change in 2 years? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But right now, this is where I'm at. So if Marvel offered me anything, the answer would be no, no, thank you. And it'd be no, thank you. It'd be no, thank you. Yeah. Patriot Cat says it's called high blood pressure, Uncle Ethan. These SJW comic pros are bad for your health. Yeah, they're not good. And Encore Baby says, I'm not bipolar, I'm non-binary polar. Excellent. Totally true. Yeah, why does it have to be binary? Why can't I be something else? Absolutely. Let's see. Random McRanderson says, if you're widely condemned, it means you've been widely watched. Well, listen, it's true. It's true. Let's see. Rome Gennaro says, EVS, please make a Rose Tico comic. No, but I will do a how to draw Rose Tico video if you like. If you like, we'll do a how to draw Rose Tico, and I'll do a simplistic, a very simplistic Rose Tico drawing that everyone can do. Okay, everyone can do. People are saying, yeah, they laugh too at my new video. It's so lowbrow. It's like I'm doing this kind of Benny Hill style humor in my videos. Well, I talk like this. And then I'm doing like Rose Tico getting knocked out with missiles and it making punching noises. It's so lowbrow, and lowbrow humor is funny, to me at least anyway. MBMM says, my wife laughs all the time. Too bad it's only in bed. Oh, yeah. Well, OG Dweeb says, a Trans Am playing Poison can't go wrong. Yeah, I mean, so it's just so sad. The moment that resonated with me the most was, first of all, I guess Johnny is probably like 5 or 6 years older than me, because I was a kid. I was a little kid in the '80s when that movie came out, maybe a young teenager. But Johnny, who used to be cool in high school and everything, pulling up in his Trans Am to some kind of 20 something girl who's jogging, and him being like, yeah, and her looking at him like, you creep. It's like, it's so weird to get old, guys. I don't know how old the chat is, but it's so weird to get old. You're just like, damn. Uh, yeah, Uncle Ethan should get Rose Tico tatted, says Fully Shadow. Or, yeah, Fully Shadow. No, probably not. Pedro Augusto says, did you hear about the French magazine interview with Mark Hamill where he talks about how you should expect the worst from future Star Wars? Mark Hamill is not holding back at all. He's just not holding back, and I appreciate that. You can tell that Mark Hamill is a fan. I tease Mark Hamill on my channel. I hope, well, actually, I don't. I hope I just tease Luke Skywalker. I don't think I tease Mark Hamill. I feel like Mark Hamill was in the worst spot possible. I have deep respect for him, but he let Disney make Luke Skywalker do bad things, and I guess he just had no choice about it. I guess he was being a professional. But when I think about how Lucasfilm, Disney disgraced him, it's just it's an endless source of jokes for me. I can talk about that all day long. But it does make me sad. So I have respect for Mark Hamill. I also love the way he just looks right in Kathleen Kennedy's eyes, and he's rude to her. And she rolls her eyes like they have trouble together. They absolutely have trouble together. It's great. It's great. And I didn't realize it. I did a video where it was Mark Hamill and Ryan Johnson talking together, and you know, Mark Hamill was being completely sarcastic with Ryan. I guess Ryan caught on, but did just ignored it. I didn't catch on until later. I was like, oh my god, he's actually trolling Ryan. Good for him. I thought that was pretty neat. Scrolling down, I know scrolling down is Zach's thing, but people ask me to say it now. Atomic American says Karate Kid was a good movie. Ralph Macchio's character was a little pissant, but that was on purpose. He didn't have a father. He needed to learn respect. The more you watch that movie, there's that great video that says that Ralph Macchio was the bully and Johnny was the hero. The more you watch that movie, the more you realize that's true. And Johnny was a flawed hero, not hero, but like hero's the wrong word. There are no heroes or villains in that movie, but it's like Johnny. The only thing Johnny did wrong was he didn't take no for an answer when it came to his girlfriend. He loved her, and I guess they had just broken up, and he was like, "No, I want you to listen to me." We've all done that when we were kids. We all didn't, It's like, no, no. If you just let me talk you into loving me again. So I mean, at least that's relatable. But he didn't really do anything wrong. This kid comes in from New Jersey, like me, and just completely tries to cuckold him, and then he cheats and kicks his ass. I mean, it's Johnny was trying to de-escalate that whole conflict the whole time throughout the whole movie, and eventually just gave him a beating to teach him a lesson. And it's I'm glad they made Cobra Kai because it seems like they watched that video and said, yeah, there's a movie here that is true. A lot of times, and I did a video about how Harry Potter was a dickhead to what's his name, the blonde kid, I'm talking about, who was the main villain. Yeah, the kid just wanted to meet him, shake his hand, and Harry Potter let his friend kind of, in a very classist way, kind of snark him and humiliate him, and from then on, we've got a conflict for the ages. Uh, Dank Plank says new Cyberpunk looks awesome. Thank you. Uh, Hello, Chewbacca Cabra. Hello. Um, all of Cobra Kai is free with a trial of YouTube Red, and you should get YouTube Red anyway. Andrea, my wife, was saying that she was just like, how come you don't just promote YouTube Red? And I was like, well, I kind of should. There's sometimes when I'll make a video and I know the video is going to be big, and I'll hit it with ads. If you guys see me like putting 3 ads in a video or 4 ads in a video, you know that I'm like, yeah, this video is going to make money. So if you have YouTube Red, you can just skip the ads. The ads just disappear. It's way better. But you guys should get YouTube Red anyway. You get to see Karate Kid, and you don't have to look at any of the ads in my videos. Richard Adams says, I think we all want to see you do Cyberpunk, but many of us will miss your presence in mainstream comics. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Encore Baby says, you're too addicted to social media. Not lately. I'm addicted. Well, Andrea said this tonight. She's like, are you addicted to YouTube? And I'm like, no, I'm not addicted to it. I like see it as a job. Like, this is a second job. I enjoy it. I enjoy making funny videos. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at editing videos and coming up with ideas. The money isn't bad. I mean, it is kind of like a, it does pay kind of like a job. And I need to let it grow. Like, it's like, this is the perfect time for this YouTube channel to grow and prosper and become an engine to help promote everything that I do from here on out. I mean, I can put out Cyberfrog books, and I can show you guys me building the Cyberfrog book. I can show you guys, I mean, I only did one panel last night, but I can show you, this is 1990s Cyberfrog, which is fun to draw. Again, his old costume. But I can show you guys like what I'm doing, and keep you in touch and see what it does to actually building a new comic book series. Like, most independent comic book guys don't have this kind of an engine of promotion. They just have to do word of mouth and going from conventions and soliciting and just hoping that kind of thing works. But to actually have an audience of, now we just broke 32,000 subscribers to promote to, I think it's revolutionary. I think it changes everything. Dr. Meatball says working from home has finally driven EVS bonkers. Oh, come on. Oh, maybe it has. I don't know. No, Indiegogo, I'll tell you when. It's going to be in May. It will be in May. It's a lot of stuff that has to come first. You can't rush it. You can't hurry love. You just have to wait. A lot of people are really interested in me drawing Rose Tico. And I'm getting a lot of praise about doing drawing videos. So I hear you guys. Charles Wright, has DC been supportive of your new artistic endeavors? What has Jeff Johns said about Cyberpunk? Jeff Johns has said absolutely nothing, but Dan DiDio did. Dan DiDio hit a like on my Facebook page, which I thought was really sweet. Because I put up the Cyberpunk t-shirt design, and it was like, I think there were like 500 likes on it, which is cool. And I was just scrolling through to see who was liking it and if any pros were liking it. And it's like Dan DiDio. And I was like, that's nice. Me and Dan, we're buddies. Sean M., thank you for the super chat. Ethan, as a man close to the Green Lantern franchise, what are your thoughts on the 2011 Green Lantern movie? From what I've seen, it is abysmal. The only good part of and I've only seen the first 40 minutes of it. The only good part of it is if you get the Blu-ray, there's a beautiful interview with me. And it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Dad joke guy says, are you going to buy a solo ticket tomorrow? You bet I am. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the age of the chat. I'm way, way behind. Okay, so everyone in here is pretty much old. I mean, we got some 20-somethings, but most of you are 30s and 40s. Yeah, I mean, so that's fine. I'm going to scroll ahead a little bit and catch up with you guys. Hello to everyone who's saying hello. Johnny did nothing wrong, says Reed Troutman. That's well, did he do so? I don't think he did. Everything he did in self-defense. Chris Tembroke, thank you for the $5. Thank you for making me laugh daily. Use this money to throw away more garbage SJW Star Wars action figures. I'm going to use it for diapers. I have, you know what? I actually have enough toys. I just ordered R2-D2, and he came today. Yeah. I had to get R2-D2. I'm like legit getting the figures that I actually want to get. I do have... I'm going away to Florida. I don't know how I'm going to do toy review videos. I can't take toys with me to Florida. I have this, which just... I actually want this. I mean, it's so weird. It's like most of the toys that I buy are junk toys that I don't effing want, and I throw them away. I can't throw this away. This is one of my favorite. I love the monsters from Star Wars. Absolutely love them. And it comes with a nice Hoth Luke Skywalker. So I'm gonna do a review on this. I might do it tonight and just post it tomorrow morning. And then I got, these are clearanced at Toys R Us. But if you look at the clearance, it's not that big a deal. Was $5, now $3.50. You call that clearance? Like, make this shit 50 cents. Some little miniature Millennium Falcon, not Millennial, and a nice X-wing fighter. Dude, everybody's mad at me because and I'm getting all these like messages like, you're not a real Star Wars fan. You didn't even know that the A-wing was in Return of the Jedi. Of course I knew that. I don't know. It's like it's just the box said Resistance A-wing fighter Resistance, and it was blue, and I went, this is something different, and I didn't even recognize it. That's what I get. Absolutely terrible. Have Cyberfrog fight a Gore Frog. Okay. What if Cyberfrog were in Star Wars? He would fit right in. He'd never leave the cantina. When is Indiegogo starting? This month. It'll happen this month. I need to get most of the book done. I don't want to just Indiegogo it. I want to do it exactly the way Diversity in Comics did. You're going to need to see, a good variety of pages. I've got the Salamandroid design being colored right now. That came out great. And we'll see that. Trevor Wedge, thank you for $5. You mentioned that salamanders all look too peaceful. Would it be too late to consider making Salamandroid more of a Zen, Yoda-like foil to Cyberfrog? It's not too late. First of all, both of them are Zen in the sense that they're really sweet about the people that they care for. Salamandroid has he has this orphan girl that he's raised since she was like 8, and now she's much older, and he really cares for her. He kind of was a father figure to her, this big gigantic dinosaur in an alleyway. It's the 90s. But I think Salamandroid is kind of kind, but not as smart as Cyberfrog is. And Cyberfrog, but he's incredibly powerful. Cyberfrog is the other way around, a lot smarter than Salamandroid is, but not quite as strong. Hello, Brent. Jellyfish Sandwich says, I have at least $25 for you when you launch. Thank you. That's great. Does Cyberfrog have an evil opposite like all heroes? A reverse Cyberfrog, asked James Miller. No. No, he doesn't. Not yet. I mean, it's when we start the Cyberfrog story, it's like it's so big, like right out the gate. Like the problem is so huge that like if there are any villains left over from the original 1990s Cyberfrog, and there may be, they're barely surviving. So, most of humanity has been annihilated. It's bleak. It's really bleak. Gem Video asks about another portfolio review. Maybe I'll do one tonight. Who the hell still uses Facebook, says Val Delinquent. That is correct. I don't really use it very much at all. And it's sad when I go over there, I used to use it all the time. Everybody goes, why don't you? Like, they think I'm dead or in hiding. I'm like, I'm on Twitter, and I'm not even on Twitter anymore. Like, I'm almost entirely on YouTube. It's like Facebook, you can speak to the same 5,000 people, tops, every day. Twitter is great because it's okay. You can put out these pithy little stupid tweets, that are read by, I don't know, you can do pretty well. YouTube, you can actually fully explain yourself. You can make interesting videos, and they go everywhere. I mean, there's no limit to how many people you can expose your thoughts to, and then the feedback that you get back is also tremendous. I mean, I could go through my comments. Sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I'll just open up my comments and just start reading them, and there's so many of them. It's just, you realize that this is the best form of social media. You're reaching so many people. It's great. Yeah, Manaray of Hope 23 says, you're the only pro doing this on YouTube. You've cornered the market. Well, and I said, why don't more pros do this? Not a lot of people can do this. You realize that like a lot of professionals are very introverted, and if they're not interesting, they're not really funny, and it's like you have to do the thing about running a YouTube channel is you have to keep doing it every single day. Now, the infamous B. Claymore decided that he was going to do this. He thought he could kind of rehabilitate himself a little bit and, I don't know, make a little money on the side. But he tried to do this and he quickly ran out of things to say and do. You have to come up with a video idea, at least one every single day. And if you don't have a video idea every day or a charming personality, you can't do this. Ivan News, thank you for $2. Ethan? Can I watch it with you? What do you want to watch? You want to watch Cobra Kai? Yeah, come on over. Absolutely, we'll get some beers. Hey, Anthony Barnes is here. That's a different Anthony Barnes, though. I have a friend named Anthony Barnes. I don't think you're the same guy because he's older than 27. Tiago Murda, Comic Artist Pursuits, agreed, Ethan. You and Jim Lee are the only people I know that actually communicate directly through YouTube or Twitch instead of treating us like filthy plebs on Twitter. Um, yeah, I don't know if, yeah, I mean, Twitter seems to be like, hey, it gives you this attitude that you've got a soapbox that you stand on and kind of, and it's like, dummy, no, everyone has this. Everyone has this, and everyone thinks that their opinions are important. I use Twitter now solely to let you guys know what I'm doing. If you want to get to know me, like if you really want to know what I think, or if you want to see what I'm up to, you come to YouTube. Twitter, I'm just going to use Twitter to completely as a promotional tool. That's it. Rarely, I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm not going to talk to these SJWs. I'm not going to get into arguments with people. It's it's pointless. Matt LS says, I love that A-wing you threw in the trash. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, send it to me. Well, I'm not sending toys to people. Or people say, why don't you just recycle it? I don't want, like other kids would want this. By throwing it away, I'm suggesting that no, I don't think anybody wants this. That's why I threw it away. In my assessment, nobody wants this. If it's good, I would keep it. Like I would give it away. I'd let Ava play with it. It's like, but if it's garbage, it's gotta go in the garbage can. Yeah, people do want me to send them stuff. I can't. I can't do it. I won't do that. Um, yeah. People quoting me at myself. If you donate $1,000 to the Indiegogo, you get to meet Cyberfrog. Ooh, I better figure out how to make that happen. Yeah. Jim Ward says, do you like snap together Bandai Star Wars scale models? I've never tried one. I would try one. Absolutely. What else is going? Scrolling down. Matt LS says, do Cyberfrogs sleep with people or other Cyberfrogs? There's just no sex in Cyberfrog. Sorry. It's just, we don't talk about it because it's a comic book. Yeah, Hateful 10 says he deleted his Facebook. No need for it. I'm close to it. I feel like deleting everyone on it except for family. And I just have family that I talk to there, and we send each other pictures because there's no reason for it. I don't do anything with it. I'm not accepting any new friends. And I've got like 150,000 people lined up waiting to, it's like, well, I'm not doing anything here. It's like waiting at the door to be let into an empty building. There's nothing going on there. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Vile Delinquent asked about Rumblebee. Rumblebee's big. Rumblebee's big in 1998. In the first part of the book, very important. So tell me about Twitch and why I should use Twitch. I'd like to know. KSSS is B Clay more or B Clay less. I used to call him B more Cray, back when Cray Cray was a thing. He didn't like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost done with Twitter. I'm trying to think. Like, I guess the thing about Twitter is I can post links to eBay auctions. Like, what else do I do with it? I guess I got to use it once I have my Indiegogo up. I need to use Twitter to remind people to bid or to pledge. I don't really know what else it's for. I'm not like people use it to just say, oh, I wish Trump would die. It's like I'm not, first of all, I don't want to say that, and I don't want to hear anyone else say that. So I'm not sure exactly what it is. You can do the. I do like to watch diversity in comics and Comicsgate get into arguments with people. I like to watch those. I don't get involved though. So, you know, again, Atomic American says, I doubt Lucas is even aware of YouTubers like EVS. I hope not. That'd be embarrassing. Can you imagine? Ugh. EVS, have you seen the Lego Millennium Falcon? It only costs $1,000. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I've bought two Lego Millennium Falcons that I think were $500 back in the day. Uh, KSS is Cyberfrog is asexual. No, he's heterosexual, but you know what I mean. Like it's like, what is Bugs Bunny? I don't know. You know, I guess he's heterosexual, but well, who cares? The Pee-wee, thank you for $4.99. We need to build an EVS supersized trash can. Just here for a second. Have a good night. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people are asking me for to get a bigger trash can. I don't know. I don't know if I need to do that or not. So far, everything fits in there pretty well, and I take out my trash almost daily. So, you know, yeah, I don't know if I need to get a bigger trash can. Uncle EVS, why are your feet in the video unboxing toys? Oh, okay. You're making fun of my toe thumbs. I'm slow, guys. I'm not, I told you I'm not very smart. I'm very dumb. Yeah, so Twitch, huh? You do, okay, fans can subscribe to you with Twitch Prime, which gives you free money every month. Really? Okay, that's fine. Retro Dad, hey EVS, how do I order a commission from you? Go to any one of my videos. There's an eBay link that will take you straight to my eBay. And let's see. Chair is squeaky. I could oil it. And you can get a figure. This is a bust. Here's a bust of Hal Jordan. Let me see. What else do I even have in here? Stacks and stacks of drawings. Oh yeah, here's my Rainbow Bright versus Grumpy Bear. And here's the Venom you guys watched me draw, I hope. Here is Flash. This is a full figure Flash drawing that you could order. This is a full figure Green Lantern drawing that you could order. Okay, so you can go to my eBay and look at that if you'd like. Yeah, I gotta oil this chair. It's too squeaky. Solar Night Bomb. Yeah. Why do you guys want to know about? See, this is the thing. We're trying to get you to stop thinking and wondering about the sexuality of cartoon characters. All right, let's see. John Bugyo. Twitch will ban you if you say something untoward on another platform. Is that right? Well, I don't say anything untoward. I really don't. I feel like I abide by the rules of YouTube and I abide by the rules of Twitter. I'm not really causing any trouble. I don't believe in it. It's not good for business. So, you know, I would be okay on Twitch. You know, I'm always a little bit behind, like slow on the uptake with technology. I should have done my YouTube years ago, and I would have like 100,000 followers now or subscribers now. But no, it took me a while to be convinced to do it. This is my kind of thing. I love making videos. Okay, VOD Delinquent. That didn't really answer my question about what happened to Rumblebee after the world ended. I never got a chance to read the originals. I was a wee lad at the time. Well, I'm gonna tell you what that's gonna be part of the story. That's gonna be part of the story. Rumblebee plays into the whole thing, so you'll see. Hi, Phil Mandarino Cox. Welcome. People Circus, thank you for £5. Very generous. Hey, Ethan, I got a real Bernie Wrightson Batman the Cult pencil page on the way. Awesome. You read that book? What are your thoughts on the Trank Gun? I loved Batman the Cult. I thought that was wonderful. And congratulations. I have a Bernie Wrightson page too that he gave me. You want to see it? You want to see? Don't worry about it. But congratulations. Hi, my daughters love your Rainbow Brute, says Nelson Villegas. They can't wait to get that action figure. Boy, I think Cyberfrog. I might do after Cyberfrog's done. I might kickstart a Rainbow Brute children's book. I mean, can you imagine that if it was like had a nice spine and it was glossy and everything? It just a Brute children's book that looked like a book. It was a comic book inside, but it looked like a children's book, and I might do that. Yeah, yeah. Vile Delinquent's got it right. Cyberfrog is straight. There just ain't no lady frogs. Um, yeah, he's a frog. He doesn't like yeah, but there is going to be a thing where oh I wanted to I'll save that. I'll save that. A Pressitron says, "Do you also have thumb toe? You want to see my toe? No, I'm not. I'm not wearing shoes. I could easily show you my toe, but I'm not going to because they're weirdos that think like feet are like. And by the way, I do have very nice feet. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Elric Heyuga says, "How are you dumb? You draw comics." Yeah, most comic book artists are dumb. It's not hard. It doesn't take brains to draw. Not really. Not the only a certain kind. I mean, you have to be kind of right brained. I think is it right brained or left brained when you think creatively, but you can't figure out math. That's what I am. So slow on the uptake, but very analytical about other things, about like visually analytical. But you could easily fool me into believing something. You could sucker me into some kind of conspiracy theory, and I'd be like, yeah, cool. Rome Gennaro says, EVS, are you an ogre like Sheik, like Shrek, you mean? Yes, almost exactly like that. TYTY says, eBay is for old people, time for an SJW Patreon. Patreon is hipster welfare. I have both though. I have eBay. eBay is for getting rid of original art. Patreon is so that some very nice people will actually make producing daily content just a little bit more financially feasible for my family because it does take time. I mean, people don't be like, oh, you only talk into a camera for 15 minutes. Like, how does that? Yeah, I gotta edit it. I gotta come up with a thumbnail. A video takes about an hour. Like a 10-minute video takes about an hour to put together. So if I do 2 or 3 of those a day, as lately I've been doing, yeah, you want to it kind of adds up. So it's nice. I mean, I have a Patreon if people want to donate $1. It's like if I were a street musician, a bum, playing guitar, and you really like the sound of my guitar, you could throw $1 in my guitar case. Trevor Wedge, thank you for $5. Ethan and Co., please check out David Stewart's YouTube. He's an author and does a detailed breakdown of Star Wars Last Jedi and Force Awakens. You two would be a superb duo. Well, Trevor, good to know. I'll check him out. I think that's what the High Council is for, is to bring on people who talk about other YouTubers who talk about Star Wars and discuss Star Wars. So it'll be me, World Class Bullshitters, and then 2 alternates every week, sometimes 3. But yeah, I'll check him out, and if he's funny, I'll invite him on. See what he thinks. Rugus Tsugia, do you sell a bust of Hal Linden or Michael B. Jordan? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, sure, absolutely, either one of those. Tim Rutherford says, do you dig out the toys out of the trash after the videos? Yes, on 2 occasions. I dug out the land speeder. Hal's ugly, Han's ugly, horrible land speeder is sitting right here, even though I threw it away. I'll throw it away again. I dug it out because I realized that I had to test it on the Force Link 2.0. And Force Link 2.0 didn't work. I was like, I gotta have vehicles to demo this thing on. So both this and Empty Nest speeder bike. Did I throw Empty Nest speeder bike away? I think I must have. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I need the Emphasis Nest figure. She's actually vital. She's been playing into lots of other videos that I'm making. The stupid, disgusting, yeah, Han Solo vehicle belongs in the garbage. It's awful. It's a piece of garbage, and I hate it. It's so ugly. I don't even know what. Yeah, Rainbow Bright. Everyone put in your money for a new chair. I don't need a new chair. I just need to oil this. I have a really nice, expensive chair. I realized that's been most of my life in it, and I think I invested like $700 in this chair, but it is squeaky. I bought it like 4 years ago. Stevie Sparks, thank you for $5. No question. Just love what you do, and this is long overdue. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to Cyberfrog. Thank you, Stevie. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love Rainbow Bright. I do these little quick doodles every now and then, and I'm like, that's how Rainbow Bright should be. Should be like, just a barbarian little warrior, just with like rainbow blood all over her sword. Highest Heights says, how do you feel about Green Lantern John Stewart? I like him. He's my second least favorite. Kyle is my least favorite. John is my second least favorite. Then I like, let's see, I think I started to like to draw Guy Gardner more than I like to draw Hal Jordan towards the end. And Kilowog is just my favorite. Anytime I get to draw Kilowog, and it's just in terms of drawing. I mostly prefer to draw Kilowog to all of them. Go back to the Care Bear fighting Rainbow. Well, okay, I'll turn that back around again. And let me get the glare off of this. See if that makes it a little better. Yeah. The real question is cartoons. One, I have no opinion about Wilma or Betty. And Heckle. Oh man, a lot of cartoon sexuality tonight. Yeah. Cyberfrog is gender fluid. Tinfoil Hats says, love the videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Tinfoil Hats. I will. I'll try to do at least one video a day, and if I can't do more than one, I'll do a live stream. I only got one done today. I slept like, I don't know, like my sleeping is wacky lately. I sleep for 4 hours. I wake up like with a start. I get to work, and then I crash again for another 4 hours. I can't just get 8 hours in a row. And so I'm all messed up. Wildcard Productions, is Cyberfrog part of a larger universe of heroes or a standalone story? You know, so I was talking to other people, other creators I know who were doing comic books in the 90s, including Billy Tucci. And I told him about this story where the world ends in 1998 and Cyberfrog survives. And I said, if you guys want, like, I could go around and get these guys who had characters in the 90s, who the characters aren't really around that much anymore, and get these guys to draw 2-page death scenes of their characters at the hands of these alien wasps. And Billy was all for it. Hell yeah. Like, I mean, you can have she go down any way she wants to go down, but I mean, have her fighting these wasps and they overtake her. And we just show that, like, all of those 90s creations all fell to these wasps. The only reason why Cyberfrog didn't was because he was like, his body will shut down when he gets to the brink of death and bury itself. So Cyberfrog actually in 1998 was stung nearly to death, and his body armored itself into a cocoon and dug itself deep into the ground, where he stayed for 20 years. I mean, just pumped full of poison. I mean, venom. He should have died. But his body heals itself in 20 years and he comes out. So I mean, characters like characters like even Trent Kanuga's Creed, I would get in there. Like all these characters that were around in the 1990s, let's show how they died. And just let the original creators draw 2-panel death scenes. I just, yeah, I think it would be really, really cool. No, Cyberfrog cannot communicate with frogs. Yeah. My Girthy Stallion needs more exposure. That's going to be a t-shirt. We're going to do a My Girthy Stallion t-shirt. I don't know if we're going to do it in women's sizes, but we are going to do it in men's sizes. It's going to be, it's going to look awesome. And one big hoof is going to be crushing Flutterby or whatever the pony's names are. Just smashing a pony under its enormous hoof. My Girthy Stallion crushes your pretty pony, your little pony. Um, yeah, so you'll be able to get one of those t-shirts you can wear to a Brony Con if you want. I don't know why you'd be going to a Brony Con if you want to wear that shirt. Malik Rasif Tenebros says, is Cyberfrog past series available in graphic novel form? No, not yet. It's nothing that you need to read. If you can find one and you want to read it for curiosity's sake, that's good. You really don't need to read it. It's, it's not very good. I've always liked the character. But yeah. Loud Toilet says, Ethan, do you know why Derek Riggs stopped doing Iron Maiden album covers? I miss his album covers. Yeah, Derek Riggs is a narcoleptic. This is true. I actually spoke to him. He has a severe case of narcolepsy, so he finds it difficult to paint and he falls asleep at the canvas. He's also about 15 years older than me, and which makes him an old man. If you imagine how old I am, he's much older, and his paintings lately aren't very good. There was something about him wanting way more money than Iron Maiden, the band, was willing to pay. Iron Maiden, they asked me to do a comic book series for them. I don't know if you guys know this. I was in communication with Iron Maiden 2 years ago. They wanted me to do this Eddie Beast 4 issue series, and I quite reasonably told them I want $100,000. I'll tell you what I asked them for. I said for 4 issues of Eddie, I want $100,000, and they were like, "Ooh, that's like 4 times what we wanted to pay." And I said, "You have to talk to, and you have to talk to Artist Alley. I can't, I can't do it for less than that." And they haggled with me a little bit, but I couldn't. That was it. And it's a shame because I love Eddie and I love Iron Maiden, and I would have loved to have drawn the series, but I'm not going to pay them for the honor of drawing an Iron Maiden comic book. They do have to pay me. Matt LS says, would it be too late for a 35-year-old with minimal experience to pursue a comic drawing career? Uh, no, as long as you're good. It's never too late. Jack Kirby didn't create the Fantastic Four until he was in his 40s. Did you know that? He already had a career before that. But I mean, I'm just saying, one does their best work whenever their best work is given to them by God. I mean, you can't, there's no age limit. Um, yeah. I did know that the earth was flat. That's right. Yeah. I'd been told. No, everybody's asking if I dig the toys out of the garbage can. Only on 2 occasions. And yeah, I'm going to put them right back. I just needed them to continue. These toys are meant for making videos. So aside from like this, I got C3PO and R2D2. I told you I was going to keep Chewbacca. And these are just, I don't need them for anything. They just look nice on my desk. But the rest of these toys are props for videos. If I'm talking about how useless Rey is, I need to have Rey on hand, an action figure of her. And do I have one? I've thrown away so many Rey figures. I'm trying to demonstrate that I can do this and make a video real quick using Rey as a prop. Oh, here she is. Yeah, I can say, oh yeah, speaking of Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Like I need to be able to do that. So, some of these figures stay around. Um, scrolling down, scrolling down. Immortal V says Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru were the chicken bones that led to a 9/11 call. Tim Doyle is like a retard of the first order. Sorry. What a moron. By the way, it's only a dude that finds chicken bones and baby clothes buried in his backyard. Like it's a guy who jumps to the conclusion that that is like a satanic cult crime scene. That's the guy who sees you voted for Trump, you must be a Nazi. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck off the planet. Excuse my language. Yeah, get out of here. Walk straight into the ocean and never stop walking. Eric Brand, thank you for the $5. What does your family think of your channel, Uncle Ethan? Well, the only person I've talked to about it is my wife, and she likes it because it's funny and it makes it makes sense. I mean, just from a business standpoint, it makes sense. So she does like the YouTube channel. I haven't talked to my mom or dad or any of my brothers and sisters about it. Indeed, I don't know how to broach the subject to them. Go check out my YouTube channel. I think they might be bored by it. Let's see, scrolling down. It looks like Zach just signed on. I might sign off and let Zach take over. I don't know. Highest Heights. Do you have a Care Bear Rainbow Bright crossover idea? Of course I do. Yeah. Care Bears and Rainbow Bright are against each other. I mean, the Care Bears are a savage group of emotional manipulators. And, Rainbow Bright, they are, I mean, they're powered by the weather, good weather, specifically good weather. Yeah, I absolutely. The Care Bears are in the Rainbow Brute. They're in the Rainbow Brute series. I just have to rename them. Rugus Sugo asks, EVS, what camera setup do you use to do your videos? Interested in starting my own channel? Okay, so I just have a little mount, a bendy mount that you can buy on Amazon for about $20, and I just honestly use my phone. This is just my iPhone that I'm filming through. Very simple, and then I have a few editing apps that I downloaded. That's where all my videos come from. I wish I had better tech, but this is good enough for now. It's good enough to make people laugh. I'm gonna get better this year. I think when I reach 50,000 subs, it's gonna be time to upgrade. And I'm talking to other bigger YouTubers about how to do that. So, um, yeah, like the kind of stuff that I need. Yeah. Oh, Zach is on. I mean, do you guys want me to let you go? Because Diversity in Comics is live streaming. He's infinitely more interesting than I am. Well, C1, thank you for 4.99. What is Cyberfrog's origin story? Okay. Cyberfrog's origin story is I've told this before. I'm going to try to tell this well right now. Okay. I'm going to try to tell it well. Here's Cyberfrog. Let's put him here so you can see him. This is the Cyberfrog toy made in the 1990s, just the prototype. Okay, so Cyberfrog comes from a planet that has achieved peace and tranquility. They do not fight. There is no war, and they're highly critical of other, planets in the universe that have war, that suffer through war. And they figured, look, we figured it out. Our people know how to be peaceful. They know how to maintain peace and inspire peace. So what we need to do is we need to send our unborn children to various planets in these living spacecrafts that will instruct them on how to be a member of that race. Okay, so we're going to send a spaceship to this planet, to this planet, to this planet. Now, Cyberfrog, basically, these aliens, uh, you know, before they're born, their fetuses just look blank. They look like formless kind of starfish shapes. Okay, and when they're born, they adopt the form and mannerisms and everything of the first two beings that they encounter. So presumably it'll be the mom and dad, and then they'll combine the two things together and look like the offspring, the progeny of their parents. That's how this alien race works. So they figure if we can just remove this fetus, send it off to another planet, when it's born from this living spacecraft, it will encounter a human or whatever the dominant species is and the mama spacecraft and combine the two things together and become a cyber being, okay, that is heroic and that is bound to do good in the world and change the world. Well, Cyberfrog was meant to land in Times Square, but he ended up landing in a swamp in kind of upstate New York instead, misfired, and he encountered a frog. But more than that, they didn't realize this. He was a twin. And so he became a frog and left, and his twin encountered a salamander and became salamandroid. And they didn't know about each other until later. Um, so that's Cyberfrog. He was meant to be a human being, but he looks like a frog mixed with his spacecraft, and his job is to do well, is to do good. His job is to be a hero. People don't like to look at him though, so he's developed a little bit of an attitude. He scares people, and that's the Cyberfrog story. All right. A Caustic Soldier, thank you for $5 Australian. My artist is getting spinal surgery and a sad face. But that means I'm here. Are you familiar with the frog in the stone phenomenon and the burrowing frogs of Aus? Yeah, a frog in a stone. The people dig open these ancient stones and there's a living frog in there. It's peculiar. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah. SJWs are for kids. I'm just happy I got Ethan to say my girthy stallion needs more exposure. Yeah, pull that out. That definitely needs to be taken out of context. Scrolling down, scrolling down. Heavy Metal Magazine published an Iron Maiden series. Very good. I would have done a great job. I've been drawing Eddie my whole life. It would have been fun, but we didn't get to do it. Blue Jay, thanks for $2. Did you hear back about your Rainbow Bright pitch? No. I'll take it as a no. No, thank you. We don't want your Rainbow Bright pitch. Mike Jesus, thank you for $20. He says, stay classy, my friend. Don't know if that's sarcasm, but thank you for the $20 anyway. Thank you, my friend. John083 quotes me as saying, get the fuck off the planet. Yeah, I've said that once or twice in my life. Jesse N, $2. Thank you. Uncle Ethan, tell me a story. Maybe I will. I can't keep This is it's like when one of the other guys kind of signs on, I feel bad, and it's almost time for me to go. Rax the hero, thank you for $2. Rainbow Brute versus Care Barbarians. Yeah, good. That's actually very clever. Bear Under the Mountain, thank you for the $5. When will you start the Cyberpunk Kickstarter? Need to keep the momentum going. That is a good point. Soon, mid May. Okay, soon, soon, soon. A lot of people are shouting Kanye's name, or is it the same guy? Kanye. Talk about Kanye. Proud of him. I went out and downloaded 2 of his albums. He's absolutely right. I like that he is brave. I think real people say what they believe and don't back down, despite tremendous pressure. I have been under tremendous pressure for my beliefs. It's a good thing that I like myself and respect myself a lot more than I respect anyone else who would tell me to shush. Um, so I will never back down. I will always be myself. Blue Satoshi, thank you for $2. Try drawing Joseph Joestar in your style. I don't know who that is. You have to tell me who that is. Val Delinquent says, I prefer your live streams to Zach's. Thank you. That's nice. Well, we're maintaining 500 people here. I think I lost only 60 or 70 people to Zach. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. Yeah, a lot of people saying we're here for you, Ethan. Thank you. Thank you. Albino Thunderbun says, you've said multiple times you don't want to bore people while drawing. You're not boring. Do a 6-hour drawing live stream. We'll watch for 6 hours. Thank you for $5. Um, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna move my office down into the basement. And when I move my office down into the basement, that's gonna be when I hit 50,000 subs. I'm gonna paint it down there. I'm gonna make a studio looking area. I'm gonna upgrade my live streaming equipment, and I'm gonna do more of that kind of a thing. The problem is, like, I have a family running around here, and I need to respect their privacy. So I can't just do a 6-hour live stream. People would, you know, they'd feel shy in their own home. Yeah. Wildcard Productions asks how much I miss Wizard Magazine. Very much so. We need to bring that back. Garib Sheamus was another guy who hit like on the Cyberfrog drawing I put on Facebook. It's like I gotta talk to Garib and be like, why don't you just publish comics now? That'd be nice. Yeah, Mike Shosei says, I meant it seriously. It's Shosei. I got it right. Okay. Thank you for that. He said earlier, keep it classy or stay classy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Red Pill Rap says Evil Renaissance. Eve, I saw you on another YouTuber that I went to. I went, oh yeah, we like all the same YouTubers. Cool. Uh, yeah, look, Kanye is eccentric, but I mean, you can't deny, we talk about artists being dumb. Yeah, artists are kind of dumb, but at the same time, and I'm not speaking only about myself, even though I totally am extrasensory, but at the same time, yeah, you listen to his albums and you go, whether or not you like rap music, Kanye isn't just doing rap music at all. His music is otherworldly. It really is good. And people used to call him a genius, and I'd be like, what? I actually downloaded 2 of his albums, one from 2005, one from 2008. I've been listening to them. Uh, he is a genius. He's a musical genius. There is no doubt about it. And when he says, like, he's insisting on being a leader and not a follower. And if you are a leader, you're going to be a leader. And at some point, it doesn't matter to you if people follow you or not. You are going to be your own person. I insist on that. I'm not following anybody. I'm not going to follow anybody. I'm always going to be my own man. Always. The only opinions I care about are your opinions. If you're buying my comics, if you're throwing me super chats, if you're a subscriber of my channel and you want certain content, I mean, I care what you guys think, and that's it. But even still, I've got to kind of go my own way. So Kanye talking about speaking up and saying things that he knows are going to get him booed, hissed at. It doesn't matter. Speak the truth. Speak the truth. Blue Satoshi, thank you for $2. He's from part 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh, Joe Star. Okay. Let me check into that. I might do that. I might do it. Landon Smith, thank you for $2. Battletoads Cyberfrog crossover, please. One love. Thank you, but no. Battletoads aren't Cyberfrog. They're not in his world. They're just not. He's different. Ewok Hunt Mode says, what the F? I got to choose between Uncle Ethan and Zach Livestream. That is the thing, but we're gaining now. We seem to be gaining viewers. I gained 20 more just now, so I guess that's people are making up their mind. Um, Reed Troutman says, "Is it awkward drawing with a camera in front of you?" It's in the way. Like picture this, like it's in the way, but it's not awkward like in any other way. You know, um, you guys watching me isn't awkward. Let's put it that way. You could spend all day with me if you wanted to. I would keep the camera going. Um, I have not seen the defeminized edit of Star Wars: The Last Jedi on YouTube. It was actually watchable. You say I haven't seen it. I mean, I'm going away to Florida this weekend, and I plan on downloading The Last Jedi, and I've been meaning to watch it. I'm gonna watch it on the airplane. Just give it a third viewing. Um, it's so painful. It's just so bad, but it's like, yeah, this is now. I mean, seriously, with 32,000 subscribers, um, the money that's coming in now, this actually is becoming a real job. So I do need to actually know what I'm talking about, and I need to watch that movie again. And everybody gets upset. They're like, why are you doing this? Why? Because like being a critic of something requires that you know what it is, and sadly sometimes that means you need to pay money for it. So buying some of these toys, I never spend very much, don't worry. But you have to do it. I have to be able to talk about it with you guys. And I do need to watch that movie a third time. God, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. I think I'm caught up with the chat now. Yeah, EVS reality show. Yeah, it would be boring. Life with Ethan, boring, boring, boring. It's just drawing. It's a lot of drawing. Occasionally getting up and cooking some eggs, making a fruit shake with kale. Yeah. Tim Rutherford laughs and says, "Why the Rose Tico vendetta?" My feelings about Rose Tico have become so complicated. I don't even believe she's a real person anymore. Like I can't even like she's a cartoon now. She's this image that's staring at me, like a still image staring at me. When I see the movie again, it's gonna be really strange to see her actually moving and talking. Because here's why. Because Rose Tico was the ultimate letdown. If you do ever believe anything SJWs say, then you would think that Rose Tico would be a legitimately great character. Even though, you know she's SJW, you would just kind of think, well, I mean, she must be a really good SJW character because people won't shut up about her. And then you watch the movie and you're like flabbergasted. You're like, no, how come I'm always right about everything? How come, like, when I say SJWs are lying scum, like, they never let me down? They are lying scum. Rose Tico is just evidence of that. She's a terrible character, and she annoyed me when she was on the screen. And I was prepared to like her, or I was prepared to say, "Oh, well, fair, good game." I mean, she's SJW, but she's good. Terrible character, and then to see rows and rows of her unsold on, in racks at toy stores. I mean, even at Walgreens, just Rose Tico just piled up. Why did they make so many of these? And by the way, why did they make a second one? And by the way, why did they make a third one? And by the way, a fourth one is on the way. Why? Why? Why are you doing this? They're not selling. Somebody has to let Hasbro know they're not selling. And I think Hasbro must know that, and they're doing it anyway. So what the F? So that's my feeling about Rose Tico, and I will continue to talk about her because it's a weird, weird phenomenon. Like people say that Star Wars isn't. Even Zach said Star Wars isn't SJW. I'm like, what? When did you lose your touch, Zach? When did you lose your touch that you do not recognize an SJW infestation when it's so obvious in Star Wars? I mean, you have to realize that's what's going on. Stevie Sparks, thank you for $5 in diaper money. I had some sincere things to say in the comments of the last High Council. Any chance you read it? Curious as to your thoughts. Too much to read live. I haven't read it. I'll go back and look, Stevie. Thank you so much. And I'll try to answer you. Genjuro T, Mr. Van Skyver, I hope you did apologize to Miss Rose Tico and others who you touched in inappropriate ways. No, I'm not going to apologize for that because then that's like admitting guilt. Hey, listen, I treat my Rose Tico with respect. The only way that I've touched her inappropriately is this. I do this. And I shoot missiles at her. And I've cut her in half with scissors. But other than that, I feel like I've been a perfect gentleman. Yeah, and it's a shame. I'm sure she's a lovely person. It's not about her. It's not about the actress. It's about the character, and I hope people understand that. Like, it's the character is terrible, and she looks terrible, and she acts terrible. Rakusaki says, Ethan, thank you for all your videos and streams. You always have great content. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. Matt Svalar says, did you actually believe Wade and the Milkshake Girls' opinions? All right, so the Milkshake Girls was a weird thing because I was not paying attention. I was not part of Comicsgate. I'm still not part of Comicsgate, in my opinion. They've insisted that I am. That's fine. If you want me as an enemy, get ready. I mean, but Comicsgate is this thing where, oh, wait 1 second. So the Milkshake Girls were a weird phenomenon where people were talking about how bad Marvel Comics were. And they're noticing, I mean, they're bad. They're full of spelling errors. They're full of stupidity. When I read Marvel Comics, there was a much tighter ship. But anyway, you start to notice that like all of the editors are male, and all of the assistant editors are kind of pretty-esque. I mean, kind of pretty young women. That's weird. Assistant editors do have power. I mean, do have power over assistant editors, but they make them work real hard. They make them do a lot of the grunt work. Most of the time, I do speak to my assistant editor, not the editor. The editor only calls me about big things. Assistant editor is day-to-day stuff. So these girls were doing most of the work, and then you have people just noticing how bad things are, big spelling errors that should have been caught by the assistant editor. And so all of a sudden, there's this milkshake photo of this smiling group of young women who are all the assistant editors. And it's like people reacted like, oh my God, like here are the faces. Here are the smiling faces, the smirking faces of these people that are effing up my comic books. And this was the general reaction. And they're literally drinking milkshakes. It's metaphorically a photograph of all these people literally sucking at their jobs. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. They're actually sucking at their jobs. So people responded, and I don't know if they responded as violently as legend has it. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't there, but I understand why people reacted negatively to that photograph. Prompted all this other stuff. Now, Mark Waid was one of many people who came to me and insisted because they knew I was right wing. I was told over and over and over again that I need to come out and condemn you guys, essentially, people who were part of Comicsgate, for not condemning whoever was criticizing the Milkshake Girls. You need to come out and condemn them. You need to say something. And why do I need to say anything? Who am I? Well, you're a Republican and these are your fans. They're your fans and they're the ones that are. Well, if I come out and just say, hey, my fans, hello, fans of mine, stop harassing women, respect women. I'm basically saying that I believe that my fans attack and disrespect women. I don't think that's the case. I do believe women get disrespected. I see it every day, but I see it on both sides of the aisle, and I don't think my fans do it. My fans are the best. So, and I've said that over and over again. My fans are the best. Daily Beast interviewer says, "What do you say about your fans who attack people in your name?" Whatever. What can I say? My fans are the best, and I love them. Water, drinking some water. You got to stay hydrated. But yeah, Mark Waid and a few others did come to me and insist that I constantly berate my fans, come out and say overtly bizarre political things in defense of people I don't know or don't care about. And I staunchly refuse to do it. A few of these clowns started poking through my Twitter profile, noticed that I was a follower of diversity in comics, suggested that meant that I was also literally a supporter of diversity in comics, and insisted that I denounce diversity in comics. These are things that I'm not willing to do for nerds. I'm not willing to do these for 50-year-old nerds. You can't push me around. I know too much about all of you. I can wreck you all. You know nothing about me, and I know everything about you. Everything. And at any point, I could wreck you all. Yeah. What about 50-year-old cool guys? I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about these comic pros who insist that I denounce my fans. That I denounce my fans. A very strategic move. I mean, if I come out and denounce my fans, in other words, my fans, I'm admitting my fans are guilty of this. I am pointing the finger, and I'm the only one who can point the finger and it actually be legit. So yeah, wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. And that was a problem for that. For because I would not allow myself to be pushed around. I got overwhelmed by threats, many death threats. A campaign, a whisper campaign, was started calling me a Nazi, an alt-right Nazi. I mean, listen, that's tough. I mean, that's not the kind of thing that you want to see. Now I'm used to it. Now I'm like, people calling me an alt-right Nazi. I just go, oh God, whatever. I'm not, and my fans know that I'm not. But at the time, it was traumatic. It was like, hey, wait a second, like, you can't say that. Like, I have, uh, you know, some kind of like ethno state ambition. I want an ethno state. I want an ethno state. That's a state where everyone's like me. You know, just an attitude, not racially. Infernal Iris, thank you for $5. I can wreck you all. Should be a T-shirt. Yeah, it should be. But yeah, so traumatic. I mean, now it's not a big deal. But yeah, uh, Crazy Chameleon wants to know if Clancy Brown is going to voice Salamandroid. I don't see why not. Yeah, I did. Yeah, Sly Marbo points out a bunch of nerds that got picked on their whole life, seeing their chance to get payback. If they were cool and not nerds, they would have been the biggest dicks. Just shitty people, terrible people, terrible people. Now, I am somebody who is full of love. I've always been full of love. Full of love. Yeah. So I have no desire to hurt anyone. And by the way, live and let live. If you want to be SJW, you know, I can coexist. Matt77, thank you for $2. Please draw Dark Side Rose Tico. Now that is a good idea. If Rose Tico went to the dark side, I think that would be good. Yeah. Trusty Sidekick says, lose one subscriber, two more shall take his place. Hail Ethan. Yeah, well, I'm not losing any subscribers now, really, except for people who want me to draw more. I am getting complaints of people saying, I subscribe to see you draw. All you're doing now is talking about Star Wars. I just do what I want to do. I know that's tough. I know, like, when I feel like doing a video about drawing, I'll do a video about drawing. But most of the time, I wake up with it's like you do what you have ideas for. If I have an idea for a Star Wars video, I have to get it out. I have to do it. If I have an idea for a drawing video, I will do that as well. But people are asking for like really abstract, like, hey, will you teach us how to shade things? I don't know how to teach you that. That's like an aspect of drawing. It's not drawing, so I don't know how to do a video on how to shade. Remember, I'm not a teacher. I'm just EVS. I'm just your Uncle Evan. I can teach you a few things. Like, I can teach you how to fold a paper airplane. I'm like that kind of an uncle. I can teach you like worthless skills when it comes to drawing, like things to learn. But when it comes to actually teaching you, I don't have any teaching credentials whatsoever. Just hang out with me and you'll pick up a few tricks. The Peewee, thanks for $4.99. Uncle Evan, can you do a video of all the previous Cyberfrog comics? They're already up. There's a video for every single Cyberfrog comic. I went through, I think I've done all of them now. So you'll find them. There are commentary tracks for each of them. Yeah. Adrian Fuentes says fascism is forcing your opinion on others and using violence and political power to silence those who do not follow. Yeah, well, there's a really stupid, weird culture war going on. And I did a whole video about it where I couldn't believe it was real. Oh, it's real. These people deliberately get together and make plans on who should say what should they say, when should they say it, do we have any friends in the garbage tier media that can write an article? How can we start a campaign of letter writing? How can we do this and that? How can we threaten people? How can we coerce people? How can we do this? And who should do it? So, I mean, this stuff is actually happening in comics. Fuck it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, fuck it. Like, I mean, it does. It just makes sense to kind of just go along, to get along. But it's like, you know, just stop it. Like, seriously, if that's how it is, like, if I have to look over my shoulder, like me being independent, I could blow you all away. I don't need this. This is a good looking character. This is a very good looking character. He can go a long way. And if he doesn't, I've got many, many, many more. Yeah. You're talking to somebody who was born gifted, gifted and talented, special. Not like, I mean, well, special in it, yeah, a little bit, tardy, but not all that tardy. All right, Dragoon347, thank you for $2. Glad to have you here dancing for lulz, $2 at a time. Yeah, well, I guess. Thank you. I don't know. Pancakes says a chunky little midget with a red lightsaber. Yeah, can you imagine? And like just dark circles under her eyes and a hood. It would be good. It would be really good. Robbie Bop says, "Will you ever get around to painting that Cyberpunk prototype, or would it hurt the value?" I don't think it's worth anything really. No, I'm not going to paint it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to wait because, eventually there will be real Cyberpunk toys, and they'll be all chromy. Like, picture this all chromed out and everything. It'd be so nice. I want to be able to see my reflection, like, in his legs and in his shoulders. It'll look good. Yeah, seriously though, says Ewok Hunt Mode, that Cyberpunk has a camel toe. Did you notice that right down there? It looks like that, but it isn't. That's just a shadow. There is no camel toe if you actually look. But yeah, every time I move it, like in 2D, it does look like a camel toe. XO Gilson, thank you for $5. Says, thanks for the drawing and destruction. Absolutely, it's my pleasure. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Adolf, with double A. So he's like he's like an Aardvark Adolf Hitler. Says you have to go with your ideas or they will get lost in the ether of your brain. Of course. You got to. Otherwise, they just, And that's the thing. Like, if you have ideas, I've had this Cyberfrog idea for 10 years. It's got to come out. I got to do it. Yeah. Evil Renaissance says, Uncle Evan, who's that? That's me. Basically, Eve, if you missed this meme, I'm going to explain this meme once, and then I'm never going to mention it again. A lot of people call me Evan. A lot of people call me Nathan. A lot of people call me Ian, whatever. Now just don't call me Uncle Ethan. I'm not going to answer to that, but just find an E name and call me Uncle Elliot, whatever. Uncle Edward. I'll answer to all of that. But, now if you call me Ethan, I'm just going to be like, who? All right, there we go. Meme is I think I just killed the meme by explaining it. I think the meme's dead now. EVS cares. I do care. I care about you all. If you were here, I would show you. I care. I'd sit you down on my couch. I'd put on your favorite TV show. I'd say, you want some ice cream, or maybe you want a beer? I don't know. A grilled cheese sandwich? What do you want? And I'd take good care of you, and you'd realize, my God, EVS does care. Don't come to my house. My wife would freak out. She'd be like, what the I mean, they're just my fans. She'd be like, oh, okay, well, all right. Angelia Bet says, I love you, Daniel. Cool. Who's Daniel? Let's see. Joe Blow says, I'm like Dirk Diggler special. Yeah, he was born with a gift. That was a man who was born with a gift. Angelia Bet says, my husband is my hero and he writes Warhammer. So that must be who Daniel is. Sweet. Yeah, it's good to know other professionals. Emotionally Exhausted says, Uncle Ethan goes over the chat with a magnet after we leave to pick up any loose change. No, for the most part, I feel like I answer all your super chats. I miss a few when I'm doing High Council. It's almost impossible to do super chats during High Council. And they come in like real hard and heavy, and I don't want to interrupt people, my guests. Mr. Pete Channel says, how about Mr. A? You can call me Mr. A if you want. Call me whatever you want. I don't care, as long as it's nice. Don't be mean to me. Don't go breaking my heart. Stevie Sparks says, can't help but notice the spheres or balls over Cyberfrog. What's the deal with those? Are they his testicles? Yes, these are his testicles. No, when I created him as a kid, I couldn't draw shoulders very well, so I just designed these. I don't know where they came from. I don't know where I got the idea for them, but I just said he has these big silver spheres over his shoulders. Richard Coyle gives me $5. He says it's either this or Lotto. I think, yeah, I think this is a better bet. Thank you very much. Wildcard wants to know, could Wizard Magazine come back and how? Well, they're talking about it. I mean, Garb and Stephen Seamus are talking about bringing back Wizard Magazine. I don't know if it ever could come back. Yeah. Emotionally Exhausted is going to call me Uncle Ethan. He has to lead, not follow. That's what Kanye says to do. Infernal Iris, thank you for $5. I know you've probably answered this a lot, but what type of drawing paper and size do you use? Infernal Iris, I have a video that it's like all the art supplies you need at Michael's Arts and Crafts for under $100. I will tell you, you want to go and you want to get Bristol board. It comes in a pad, a big yellow pad. Do I have one here? Kinda. Here we go. So it looks like this Iris. Okay, Strathmore Bristol. It's yellow, and you're gonna want to get the size that is 11 by 17 inches. Okay, so if you have that, you've got the same stuff that everyone else draws on. And I don't know maybe it's like $11 for a pad of 20 sheets. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's get Cyberfrog out of here. Yeah. Yeah, there will be action figures based on Cyberfrog. There's all kinds of stuff going on with Cyberfrog that you guys don't even know about yet. All kinds of stuff. Yeah. When will you show Ava Star Wars? Will you show her all episodes? Whenever she wants. The kids don't like it. I'm telling you, kids do not like Star Wars. Uh-oh, see, this is the problem. Vile Delinquent calls me Uncle Eichenwald. Ugh, I shouldn't have said, call me anything. Uncle Eichenwald, he blocked me. We were having a really nice conversation. I have his phone number. He wanted me to call him, Kurt Eichenwald, and really talk things through. He's very upset about these allegations against him, and he wanted me to... Oh, there's a whole Mr. Medicare video about this, about me and Zach, and how we were attacked by Kurt Eichenwald. So he wanted me to tell Zach that Zach needed to make videos that cleared him of any CP, child pornography, whatever, wrongdoing. And I said, well, what do you mean? Yeah. No, this was a while ago. It's just talking about Eichenwald. Yeah. I said, and he said, I'm a big fan. Like, he actually watches Diversity in Comics all the time. So he knew who I was from Diversity in Comics. Mark C. asks, he says, your accent sounds like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ever been? I have, but I'm Philadelphia. So that's interesting. Yeah. Draw a zombie Cyberfrog? That sounds cool. EVS, do you have a cat? No, I used to. I don't have a cat. I have a rabbit right now. I have one rabbit and a frog. That's all. What happened? Uh-oh. Oh, this pad. Okay, I'm still broadcasting. I'm sorry. Yeah, the iPad that I was reading your comments on just shut down suddenly, and for some reason I thought I went offline, but I'm broadcasting from my phone, so I'm fine. Emotionally Exhausted says, oh wait, let me try to catch up. Uncle Ethan, I feel sorry for you trying to reason with a never-ending series of angry, bald-headed 50-something weirdos. You guys, Mark Waid, do you remember, were any of you subscribers when I did that interview with Mark Waid? I mean, I don't know if any of you remember that. Were you subscribers? Yeah. So that was unfortunate. Okay, some of you were. Did you guys feel like I treated Mark pretty respectfully? Subscribers. The Pee-wee, thanks for $1.99. You're keeping me up. I need to go to bed. You can go to bed. You can watch this tomorrow, you know. You can watch this tomorrow. Yeah. So most of you thought I was kind to Mark Waid. Much better than he deserved. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I did. I flipped to 32,000 subscribers. This is big. We do need a blood sports between EVS and Mark Waid. I would like to talk to him again. Okay. Iwazaru says, you bullied Mark relentlessly. I could see his eyes watering and him sniveling. Well, that's one way of looking at it, I guess. Yeah. I kept it professional. Well, directly after that interview, Mark Waid sent me a series of threats. I've never talked about this. Mark Waid sent me a series of threats that he would get my channel shut down. He was angry because there was somebody in the chat who named himself Mark Waid, who was a parody account. And he spammed my email, he spammed all of my message pages, and he said that I needed to effing fix this now, or he was going to get my YouTube yanked down, my YouTube channel. And we stopped speaking after that. Sabrav, thank you for $2. What time your Indiegogo starting tomorrow? It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. I'm sorry, but thank you for the. Yeah. It was insane. And I said, "Are you being serious? Are you kidding me?" And he said, "Oh God, what did he say? Let me find it." It was absolutely crazy. It wasn't even like there was no reason to even have a sense of humor. Like it just wasn't a big deal. Uh, yeah. Do you want me to read some? Okay. All right. So this was November 27th. Uh, he said, okay. He said, "Hey, I didn't want to hang up on you. I have no idea. I was in mid sentence and it just cut me off." So that was right after we got done with the chat. He said, "Didn't want you to think I'd been that abrupt. It surprised me. Anyway, thanks again. I'm off to Paris to get to wear a beret and a baguette or whatever later." I said, "Me too. I was thanking you again. But that's all you missed. Have a great time in Paris." And that was at 10:54 p.m., November 27th. Yeah, and then here we go. 1:27 p.m. The next day, I get a message that says, "Sorry, Ethan, I can no longer in good conscience recommend that any professional go on your channel. Not your fault, but some motherfucker is impersonating me in the comments, and it'll happen to others too. Sorry, don't know what else to tell you. I like you, but I regret doing the interview now tremendously. Fix," this is in all caps, "fix period, this period, now period." And then in all caps, "fucking fix this. I'm leaving for the airport," and then it all goes to caps, "in a motherfucking hour, and this is the last fucking thing I need to be happening right now, Ethan. Your followers are fucking assholes. They're fucking monsters," all in caps. "I'm about 30 minutes away from filing a complaint to have your entire account suspended, Ethan," which is, and then in all caps, "exactly what these motherfuckers want. Fix this." Uh, yeah. So, I mean, I woke up to this and I was like, this was in my Facebook message. I said, this tirade isn't okay, Mark. You owe me an apology." And he said, "Go complain to your buddies Meyer and Cummings. I'm out." And then he began apparently a campaign, a whisper campaign, to get me denounced in comics. So, I mean, uh, that's one of them. There was a whole kind of email attack as well. And I was just like, I don't understand. Like, what did I do wrong? Well, I had somebody in my chat, and there were, I mean, I was a small channel. I think I had like maybe 400 or 500 people in the chat, which was big for me. That was a big event. Back in November, I may have had maybe 2 or 3 thousand subscribers, and I thought that was a pretty big deal. I thought it was a pretty big deal. But yeah, like, he was going to shut my channel down. He was going to get people to denounce my channel, to false flag it, I guess. I don't know. Very strange. And I honestly like treat people with respect. I felt like I had done a really good interview with him. And I said, "What did I do to you? What's your problem?" And like, so we are no longer friends. And people say things like, "Well, why don't you have more interviews? Why don't you get more interviews?" I can't. Mark Waid told everybody not to come on my channel for interviews. A Caustic Soldier, thank you for $5 Australian. If anyone watching the video can blatantly see he isn't typing, then why would he think the fake would have any credibility? I think he was just looking for an excuse. This could be me being paranoid. I think Mark Waid was against me from the start and was hoping that something from our interview could be used against me. And I had no intention of treating him with anything but utmost respect. That was the whole point of my channel. They're fighting a culture war, and I'm fighting a war for comics. And two different things. I mean, I'm fighting a war to make comics closer to fans and make fans feel close to comic book professionals and make comics important again to people. So I'm fighting that battle, and they're fighting a battle to kick conservatives out of comics. And I didn't see it. I was too naive. So he came away from the chat experience feeling like things went really well. Damn it, until somebody let him know on his Twitter that there was an impersonator of him making fun of him in the chat, and he actually said thank you and sent me this tirade. So this was the excuse he was looking for to treat me poorly. And there's more. I have receipts. I have plenty of receipts about this. Yeah. But I mean, this is the thing. Margaret Miracle says you're better off distancing yourself. Yeah, I have to. I'm here to be creative. I think my initial goal in starting this channel was to kind of make comics more accessible to fans. That's no longer my goal here. My goal has changed. My goal now is to self-promote. I'm no longer out for everyone. I'm out for me. Because nobody, like, this is kind of what happens. I think there's so many people in this business who are like mentally ill that there's no reason to do nice things for people in this business. The only people I need to be concerned about are my fans. What can I do for you? That's it. That's it. Everyone else is nuts. It's nuts. It's just comics. Blue Satoshi, thank you for $2. I'd say Wade just doesn't know how to internet. Oh, he does. No, he does know. He does know. He can be very effective. I mean, look, yeah. Joe Blow says, stay positive. Dude, I am positive. I am positive all the time. Ryan Long, $2. Thank you. He says, I'm gay and liberal. SJWs aren't any nicer to me. Well, we've said that, though. SJWs are not liberals. They're not. Yeah. Dragoon 347. Thank you for $2. We love you more. Stick with us. Well, I will. So basically, all I really care about are my fans. I care about you guys. I care about creating content for you. I know that if I create good comic books for you guys are going to buy them. Mark Waid isn't paying my bills. You guys are. So for real, all kinds of respect. And thank you so much. A lot of people saying bad things about Mark Waid, which is fine. I'm not going to stop people from saying bad things about Mark Waid. He's a legit bad person. A Caustic Soldier, thank you for $2. Van Comics, VC. You know what? I thought of this name for my comic book company, Zero F Comics. I don't know. I'm thinking Zero F. If I were to have my own studio, Zero Fucks. It goes along with my whole NWA. I think NWA were probably the first hip hop group to start saying zero fucks given. So since there's this whole, I started this gangster shit thing. Maybe zero F's given is a good studio name, and it's true. I mean, it's like I don't care. I'm just here to make good comics and sell them to fans. TL, why have you been slowing down with DC work lately? Thank you for $2. TL, my contract at DC is up. I'm free. I'm a freelancer. You know what? People keep saying that. Like, as hard as I work at DC, and the past 3 years, I've worked harder than ever. Like, producing maybe 8 issues a year at DC Comics is a lot for me. I want you to go back and look at my old, how much work I used to do, like in the 2000s. Maybe 5 or 6 issues a year. So I was really pumping out work and working almost on a monthly basis. And people were still saying, every time I would 3 issues of Hal Jordan would go by and I didn't draw one, I'd do a new one and people would say, Ethan returns to Hal Jordan after all. I'd be like, it's only been, my gosh, 6 weeks since you seen me last. It takes a long time to draw a comic book. But I was cranking it, and TL, I'm done with it. Look, I want to do good work. I want to spend the next year, possibly the next 2 years, drawing Cyberfrog, and Rainbow Brute, and another thing that I have, and doing it for you guys, just doing an independent company kind of thing. What do you guys think of Zero F's? I'm seeing, yeah. Is it good or bad? Zero F's. I think it would be zero and then F, like zero, the number zero, and then F. Zero FG. That might be good. Zero FG. PG138. Will you work for DC again? Do you think people like Waid would make it difficult for you to get back in? No, Mark Waid could not have any influence on me working for DC. Nobody could. Yeah, I will someday. I mean, no time. Like, I can't even think about that right now. I just got free. it's like it's like getting out of a divorce and then being like, "Are you ever going to get remarried to the same woman again?" I no, I don't. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? All right, people are saying they like Zero F's. A Cossack Soldier, thank you for another Australian $2. Mother controls nav system, her alliances, ethics. Yeah. Oh, you're asking me what her alliances are? Her job is to simply, she's got a, her ethics are about good and evil. What's good and evil? What's crime? Where people need help, and she sends Cyberfrog to emergencies. So she's like dispatch almost. Yeah, I mean they mean well. Like the two of them mean well. Hmm. I'm completely red pilled, you guys. I keep telling everyone I have taken the red pill long ago. TL says, thank you for $2. Would love to see you work with Scott Snyder. Let me tell you something. Scott Snyder is one of the kindest, nicest people in comics. I would like to work with him too, but I can't work with him where I'm at right now because um, I I can't. There's a weird thing that happens when you get at DC and you start doing monthly comics. You become kind of a monthly grind guy, with the exception of guys like Greg Capullo, who very few exceptions. For the most part, you become a monthly grind guy. Now, I need to step away and I need to produce art. I need to produce great art, not monthly comics. Great art. My Cyberpunk issue, my first Cyberpunk book is going to be a work of art, the very best that I can do. And at that point, you can come back and work with bigger talent again. You have to build your cachet up. If you're just sitting around doing monthly comics all the time, you can't be one of the guys who works with Scott Snyder. He only works with the best of the best artists, who want to kick ass, and that's the thing. Yeah, I just didn't feel like I was there anymore. I really felt tired. I was getting tired of DC. I mean, my last issue of Hal Jordan, and by the way, I quit. I quit early. I quit on the last issue. I said, I can't do anymore. Guys, let me go. Let me go. And they were kind enough to let me go. So 45 is my last issue. And you'll see it. I'm just tired. I'm like, get me out of here. I hate to do that. I don't want to produce bad work. I was too excited about doing Cyberpunk. Um, yeah. Talk to McFarlane about Spawn covers. Yeah, I talked to Todd. I like Todd. He's a good guy. Wildcard Production says, what happens when Cyberpunk beats the giant beast? Does the story revert back to something more like the original book, or a new story that isn't revealed yet? We don't know. We don't know that he beats the giant beast. How could you beat the beast? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Cyberpunk is not a clone. No, he's an alien. A Cossack Soldier, thank you for another $2. Is Mother more loyal to progenitor aliens or Cyberfrog? Um, that is a great question. Progenitor aliens, definitely. She has a job. I mean, Cyberfrog is her child, but she's got a purpose. You know, that is her purpose. That's why she's there. Yeah, a lot of weird questions here. Does Cyberfrog eat his young? No, he doesn't have any young. Robert Munoz says do covers for Time of Problem and sue him. I don't see how that follows. Okay, so people are asking about the Jawbreakers crossover too. Look, both of us are kind of into selling comic books. I mean, this is the thing. If, like, you know, we talk to each other about this, do a Cyberfrog Jawbreakers crossover, guys. Well, should we do it? And here's the thing, like, if we did it, the Jawbreakers would still be superheroes. Um, because I would have them appear in this world, in Cyberfrog's world. So they never would have become, the world ended in 1998. So they never would have become mercenaries. They'd still be superheroes. Nobody would pay them to be mercenaries because there's nobody to pay them. So the Jawbreakers would team up with Cyberfrog to beat the Wasp. Zach has this bee in his bonnet, so to speak, about thinking that the Jawbreakers could beat Cyberfrog. And I'm like, first of all, Cyberfrog could beat them all easily, easily. And second of all, they wouldn't be fighting. Like, they'd be on the same team. They'd be on the same team. Yes, Cyberfrog does eat ramen. He does. Lemur Cage, thank you for $5. Hardcover collected edition of previous Cyberpunk issues as a stretch goal with Blood Honey? No, a whole separate Kickstarter. I'll do that later. I'm not going to do the thing that he does where, it's like, hey, I can't, it's too expensive. Like, producing a comic book and shipping it is too expensive. He's in for a rude awakening when he tries to fulfill like, he made a lot of money, but when he tries to fulfill all his promises with the money he raised, he's in for a rude awakening. He's cut his profit margin to a very slim thing. I'm going to offer you other things. But the main thing is going to be the book. I will improve the book as stretch goals. I will create trading cards. I will create posters, all kinds of things like that. But I'm not going to do another book. I would kickstart a whole separate book like that. I just think that makes more sense. Yeah. A Caustic Soldier, thanks for Australian $5. Cyberfrog's body alters to a time machine for one issue, taking him back to when he learns KFC no longer exists in the future. There's your JB story. Okay. A Massive Lar says, don't fall victim to a scope creep like Zach. What's a scope creep? I don't know what that means. Explain that, though. I would like to know. Would Cyberfrog's DNA cause genetically engineered dinosaurs to change sex from female? No, I don't think we think that deeply about it, Ryan Long. Honestly. Yeah. No, I mean, Cyberfrog has chunks of guys bigger than Cyberfrog in his stool. No, it's not just that. It's that he's just, they don't have the weapons to take him out. Cyberfrog's body adapts to the threat that he's in, so he would just automatically adapt to be able to take out each one of the Jawbreakers. And he's as strong as Spider-Man is. Blue Satoshi, thank you for $5. There's only one way to settle Cyberfrog versus the Jawbreakers in the squared circle at Comics Mania 2018. Yeah, but anyway, we would do a Cyberfrog Jawbreakers series if we thought we could make enough money doing it. That's the way we think. We don't think about proving anything to you guys. We're not out to yell at you or teach you anything. We're out to entertain you. And if we think that you guys want to pay to see that kind of a book, we're going to do it. Absolutely. It's all about the money. It's all about business. Which is how it should be. More people need to think about that. Yeah. All right. I don't know. I've been keeping you guys. Wow, this is the longest chat I've ever done by myself. It's an hour and 38 minutes. What am I, nuts? And I told my wife I would be off by midnight, so. Matt LS says, do you mean you care about the fans? Yes, I am only, it's not about the fans' feelings. I only care about entertaining you guys. That's all I care about. I care about entertaining you because if I entertain you, I get to feed my family. It's a very simple, it's a very simple equation. I love you guys very much. Thank you for all of the very generous super chats tonight. Thank you for a lot of great questions, good conversation. I hope you enjoyed that Mark Waid reveal. That was fun. That was actually kind of cathartic. That's the kind of thing that I can do now that I don't work for DC Comics that I couldn't do before. As you can see, independence is fun. Yeah, thank you for your crappy questions as well. And you guys have a great, great night. We'll do this again. I'm going to Florida. If you guys can see me in Orlando, that's great. I think I posted the dates and location. So if you live in Orlando, absolutely come out and meet me. And if not, I'm gonna try to post videos from there. I don't know what kind of content I'm gonna provide, but I will stay in touch. I will post videos every day from Orlando. Yeah, you guys have a great night.